Hello, friends. Welcome to this edition of the Get Cyber Smart podcast, your 7 to 10 minute educational look into this crazy thing we call cyber. Whoops. There we go. Let's do that. Turn that out. I am your host, retired FBI Special Agent Darren Mott. In this episode, we are going to introduce a new series I'm doing called Protecting Seniors Online. So I want to thank you all who are watching maybe on the live stream on YouTube or on LinkedIn. I am working on getting all this restreaming and podcasting and all that stuff done correct at the same time. I did this particular version a couple weeks ago, or not a couple weeks ago, last week, and screwed up the audio. I think I have the audio correct this time. And so hopefully we can get through this without a whole lot of error. So I appreciate all of you who are taking the time to watch. I appreciate those of you who are following on the podcast links. If you have any thoughts or comments, feel free to hit the chat screen if you are so watching this live. If not, if you're watching it on replay, they'll have some information later on to show you that will give you information on how to email me if you have questions, thoughts, or comments on this particular series. Let's talk about what this series is. I just finished my series on protecting kids online. And that was met with some pretty good feedback. So I'm taking that particular series and creating a larger class that will allow folks to get a little deeper into the topics I talked about on those series of podcasts. So for this series, kind of doing the same thing, taking a look at how to protect seniors, because according to the FBI in 2021, beyond business, if you take out business email compromise, which was the number one financial loss across all cybercrime, scams against seniors were number two. Roughly almost $1 billion in loss reported upon several 100,000 people. And obviously, some of the issues with that kind of reporting is that you're only going to register those people who report that they were victimized. So certainly you have a host of individuals that are not going to post that they are victims. And so as a result, you have what's what I'm looking for? Sorry, I'm screwing around with the video here. So let me set this up a little bit differently here. There we go. That's what I want. So you have people who report the crime, and you have a lot of people who don't report that they've become the victim of cybercrime. And so those numbers are actually probably much larger. There's probably much more loss regarding targeting of seniors, which can come from all sorts of different frauds. Romance frauds are huge. Investment frauds, the frauds where they get phone calls and they get people who claim to be customer service to download stuff onto their computer that allows those remote users access, all sorts of different scams. So I'm going to break this particular series down like I do with all the stuff I do as far as the Get Cyber Smart podcast is portrayed. And that is understanding who the cyber bad guys are targeting you, why they're targeting you, how they're targeting you, how to protect yourself. And then once you have an idea of all those things, you can proceed wisely. So this will be about a 5 to 6 episode series on protecting seniors online. In an ideal world, I will take those concepts. And again, these are going to be 7 to 10 minutes long, just a kind of a quick look at that so you can talk to the seniors in your life to help keep them safe so they don't have to become victimized. Remember, with this podcast, with my Cyber Guide podcast, the whole thing is wrapped around how do you protect yourself so you don't have to contact the FBI because you become a victim of cybercrime. So ultimately, at the end, this will be a larger program that I'll have available. That'll go much more depth into the certain topics I talk about, but I'll hit on the main key points so that you can go about and you can talk to your parents, you can talk to your grandparents, you can talk to those senior folks in your life just to make them aware of what the threats are that are targeting them. Because remember, if we can understand the threats targeting us, we can assess our risk and then proceed wisely. And knowledge is protection. All the things I say all the time. So this particular series is designed to give you that basic understanding of who's targeting seniors, how to protect seniors, and how they can protect themselves. So next week, when I do episode number 2 of this series, it'll be all about who's targeting seniors. And so we're going to talk about who is it that targets seniors? Obviously, it's cyber criminals, but we'll go into a little more detail on how they do it, why they do it as the weeks go on. So as always, with these, you can hopefully follow them here at LinkedIn, where I have where LinkedIn and YouTube, I will live stream these episodes as well. Then they'll be recorded and there for you to look at later. But I'll also have the podcast. So you can always, from your favorite podcast providers, go there. The Get Cyber Smart podcast is available on all your normal podcasting services. Plus, if you are looking for my other podcast, the Get Cyber or the Cyber Guy podcast, obviously you can feel free to find that as well. So with that, I want to thank you for taking the quick time to listen to this quick little live stream, this quick podcast, which I think I did not screw up this time. So that's good. So this will be available on YouTube, on LinkedIn for you to review as you need to. If you need to, email me, Darren@thecyberguy.com. If there's particular topics you'd like me to address in the future, if there's other series you'd like me to focus on once I'm done with this one, feel free to do that. You can follow me on LinkedIn. I post almost daily with different insights on different cyber things. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this stream, to listen to this podcast. Know that if you understand the threats targeting you, you can assess your risk, proceed wisely. Thanks. We will talk again soon.